it's Channon Rose, and today I'm going to be telling you a story time of a freaking nightmare experience about how my acupuncture went very wrong.
You're a single white female creeping in the shadows.
So a while ago I had put up a story time called Traumatized by My Doctor, where I had, an awkward, uncomfortable, traumatic kind of experience with cupping, also in correlation with acupuncture. Well, I really actually like my acupuncture guy. He's really knowledgeable, really good, and I haven't had any problems. Well, recently he had gone out of town, and so there was a new woman that was doing the acupuncture, and I really didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh yeah, that's fine, I'll just make an appointment with her, because I was doing like weekly appointments. So every week I was getting acupuncture done, and this one week he wasn't going to be there, and I really just didn't want to not do acupuncture because I think it's really been helping me. So I decided to make an appointment with this lady. That was probably one of the biggest mistakes I made in a while, but I didn't know, I had no idea going into it that it was going to be the worst possible experience that could go wrong in acupuncture. Like, totally went wrong. So my appointment was at 3:30 that day. So I drove over to the acupuncture place, and I get there and there's nobody in the office. Like, there's no receptionist. I don't see anybody waiting in there. It's just like completely empty, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, this is just weird. So I sat down in the waiting room, and I'm just like waiting, and a few minutes go by, and I start having this like gut feeling like I should probably leave. Something doesn't feel right. I should probably go home. But for some reason, I didn't trust my gut instinct, and my little ass just sat in that chair and stayed there and waited till somebody came and got me. So finally, this blonde lady walks out, and she's younger, and she's like, hi, can I help you? And I'm like, hi, yeah, I'm Shannon. I'm here for my 3:30 appointment. And I thought she was the receptionist because she was, acting as the receptionist. She was at the front desk, like checking me in and stuff. She's like, oh, I don't see you on the schedule. So right off the bat, she's like, everything is going wrong, right? I waited there for like 15 minutes before someone like came out, and I was really getting close to leaving. I don't know, something just made me stay, even though in my stomach, my gut instinct was telling me like, Shannon, go home. Something is not right. But being the dummy that I am, I just fucking stayed there and like was like, let's see what happens. These are like my red flags, right? Like signs going off like, Shannon, go home, Shannon, go home. But not me. Nope. My little rebel ass was like, well, my appointment says it's at 3:30, and she's like, I don't see you on here. And I'm like, that's weird. She's like, but I can still take you. I'm like, okay. She ends up bringing me back to the room, and I find out that she's not just the receptionist that day. She's also my acupuncture lady that's going to be sticking needles in me. So I'm like, okay. So she talks to me. She kind of like looked over my chart very briefly and then asked me like why I was there, and I told her fertility, back pain, sciatica, anxiety, like I have all these fucking problems. I was just telling her like why I was getting acupuncture, and she's like, okay. So she starts doing something to me that I wasn't used to, and so I was just like, okay, this is a little different, but that's all right. And I started getting a little bit of anxiety when she started like feeling around on like body parts, like where she's supposed to put the needle in. And I was like, does she not know like where it's supposed to go? Like, why does she keep taking forever to like put these needles in me? And I just want to let you guys know, if you've never had acupuncture before, normally in my experience, an experienced acupuncture guy, I don't even know like really technically what they're called, will like put them in, you barely feel it, and they put them in really quickly, So that's just what I'm used to. Well, this lady was like literally feeling around certain parts of like my skin and like my tendons and stuff to like see where the needle goes in, and then she would put it in and I could feel it. She was doing that to like every spot. I've had a lot of painful things happen to me, so obviously like needles going in me is not painful, but you're not really supposed to feel them, and I felt every single one she put in, and she did it like really slow, and I don't know, it just felt like it was the first time she had ever done acupuncture. My anxiety levels were starting to rise, but I was like, you know what, just chill, Shannon, you're fine. Like, you've had this done before. It's not a big deal. Just relax. Well, then this chick starts putting in needles like all in my neck, all in my face, and then she starts putting them in my fucking scalp. Okay, like I have not seen that before. I'm sure that they do it and it's like a normal thing, but for me at this point in time, I was very nervous of her going into my fucking brain area. I know that my skull protects my brain, but I was just nervous for her putting these needles in because I honestly feel like this was the very first time she has ever done this. And they put a good amount of needles in me, but like not an excessive amount. And this chick was just freaking putting them all over in places that like normally the guy doesn't do to me. And so I was just like, okay, that's a lot of needles. I feel each and every one going in. And this is the thing, you guys, the lady was super nice. She was really, really nice. She was like, you know, talking to me, trying to make me feel comfortable. I explained to her multiple times I have really bad anxiety and, you know, all these different things, but she was really nice to me. So then she gets all the needles in me, and you're supposed to just relax during acupuncture. Normally they have like this meditation, like spa music playing, and it's just really, a lot of people fall asleep during acupuncture. It's supposed to be relaxing. The first couple times were not relaxing for me. This time was definitely not relaxing. For some reason the music was not on, so it was just like dead silent, and it was just kind of like an eerie feeling in the room because you're left in there by yourself with the door shut with all these needles in you. And I don't know about you, but the places that they put the needles in me, if I move just slightly, it's really uncomfortable. It almost feels like it's like hitting nerves, and it like sends like little shooting pains. So like I have to lay very still everywhere. My head, my neck, my arms, my legs, like every place has needles in it, so you can't really move. It's kind of an uncomfortable feeling, especially if you have anxiety. But I am just, you know, talking to myself in my head, and I'm like, Shannon, you're fine, just chill, like you're good, relax. So she left, whatever, and I'm just like trying to relax and like, you know, do my thing and just like fucking chill, because, you know, my little ass is neurotic as hell, and I just feel crazy because I feel like I'm the only one that experiences these types of things and only one that acts like this, but I am just so scared of every little thing, and I always think the worst possible thing is going to happen to me. So I have to really just like calm myself down and like talk to myself in my head to just relax. So that's what I did. I'm like, Shannon, you're fine. She might be new, but it's okay. Like, it can't be that bad. What are these needles can't really, like, you know, kill you. That's what I'm telling myself. And then 10 minutes into acupuncture, I start feeling off. Like, something is feeling off. It's not my anxiety. I can really tell the difference between having like an anxiety attack, because I get them so much, and just feeling off and not right. Something just feels wrong. And then I start getting a ringing in my ear. And I've had that before. I'm like, you're okay, like just chill, talking to myself. And then I start to get really dizzy and lightheaded. And I start to feel pains in certain places of my body that I never have pain. So now my anxiety is just heightened a little bit, and I'm like, okay, something's not right, like something's not right. My whole body starts fucking tingling and not feeling good, and now I am like in a full-blown anxiety attack, and I'm like, okay, this is not good. I'm fucking sweating, and I can't move. And normally, like when you're in the middle of an anxiety attack, if you've ever had one before, you want to get out of wherever you are. And in this situation, this is like the worst situation to have an anxiety attack, because you have needles all over you, you can't fucking move, and you can't get out of where you are. And so I'm trying my very best to just fucking chill. Just fucking chill, Shannon. You're fine. You're just having a fucking anxiety attack. Like, you need to calm down, right? I keep telling myself. And it's not working, guys. It's not working at all. And at this point, I'm thinking, this chick put these needles in me, like, in all the wrong places, and it is fucking me up. It's doing the opposite of what it's supposed to be doing. Like, something is not right. Like, I don't like this. I need to get this out of me. And now that I've told myself that, now I'm in a full-blown panic attack. I feel like I can't breathe. I'm fucking hyperventilating. I am full-on freak-out mode. So I start screaming in the room for this chick to come get me. And I'm like, hello. And I don't know what her name is, because, you know, it was the first time. I couldn't remember. I'm all cloudy in my head. I can't think straight. So I'm like, hello. And I'm screaming for her to like come back in my room. And I'm thinking like, this is so fucking embarrassing, but like, whatever. I just want to get out of here. And I need these needles out of me. Like right now, like stat. And this chick is not coming. And so now I'm freaking out even more, because I'm like, oh my God, she can't hear me. She left, something happened. She can't hear that I'm like, something's wrong with me. Like, now I'm really freaked out. And I'm not even joking, you guys. I was screaming for like a good 5 whole minutes. And that's a really long time when you're having a panic attack. Like a really long time. And when you're fucking stuck and you can't move and you have needles all over your body, your face and your head and your neck and your scalp. It's a long time. It was awful. You would think there was a fucking fire in my room. That's how much I was freaking out. So at this point, I proceed to try to pull the fucking needles out myself. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried this before. I don't suggest it, because those little fuckers just don't come out on their own. I don't know. There's like this weird blue tip on the needles, and I think there's like a special way of pulling them out, because they weren't coming out of my skin. I couldn't get them out. And I'm like pulling, frantically trying to pull these fucking needles out all over me, and they're not coming out. At this point, you guys, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking die in here. Like, I'm literally gonna die. Like, I can't take this. If you've ever had a panic attack, it legitimately feels like you're about to die. And so when I'm having that, and I can't get out of where I am, or nobody's coming for help, and now I can't get these fucking needles out of me. That was like my last resort, right? Trying to pull the needles out myself so I could get up out of this bed and out of the room, and then they wouldn't come out. Oh, hell to the no. After that, I was like, oh my God. I literally thought I was gonna die. I'm laughing now, but it was not funny. So now I start crying. I'm screaming for the chick to come get me. A good 7 minutes after screaming at the top of my lungs for this chick to come into my room, she finally comes in, like all quietly, like I'm sleeping or something. And I'm like, hi, I'm having really bad panic attacks. I'm really sorry, but can you please get these needles out of me? And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. I was like, yeah, I tried calling you. She's like, yeah, I heard you. And I was like, what? I didn't say that because, you know, I didn't want to be rude. But I was like, you heard me screaming for you and you didn't come back? And she was like, oh, you only had 5 more minutes left of your treatment, so I just wanted to see if you would relax. So I just wanted to see if you would relax. Bitch, no. I was not gonna relax. I needed you in here to help me, like, get these needles out. I was having a panic attack. And she's like, oh, she's like, it's okay. Well, hopefully this treatment will help that later on. And I'm like, bitch, you better hope so, because I'm never coming back here again. And like, I literally was having such bad panic attack during this point and like hyperventilating that I couldn't even drive myself home, that I had to sit in my car crying. I'm a dramatic little bitch. I'm really not. I just have like serious mental issues. But yeah, I sat in the car. I called my husband. I was like telling him what happened so I could try to calm down. It was a struggle trying to get home, having anxiety. But the best part of this story, you guys, is I ended up telling my mom like what had happened, and that I literally had the worst acupuncture experience of my life, and that I would never go back to doing acupuncture because I think it would just trigger anxiety for me. And my mom was like, I cannot believe that that girl did that to you, and she heard you scream. She's like, I'm calling them right now. I'm like, Mom, please don't call them. Please don't call. Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, it's fine. I'm just not going to go back. Like, I'll be okay. And she's like, give me the phone number. I want to know what it is. Anyways, so my mom decides to call the establishment and tell the owner, the guy that normally does my acupuncture, what happened. Which was embarrassing, and I really didn't want her to do, but my mom thought that it was a smart thing to do because, you know, it's his business, and if like stuff is going on like that, like she thinks that the owner should know, which I understood, whatever. Well, the owner ends up calling me a few days ago and apologizing and saying sorry and all these different things, and I'm like, it's okay, like she was really nice. I just feel like she was really inexperienced, and I had a really bad experience. So to end the story with a happy ending, I ended up going back to acupuncture, except for this time I brought my husband because I was just like really scared to be alone in the room if something like that happened again. But I actually went back to the guy that normally does my acupuncture. Everything was fine. I felt very relaxed, and I actually do like acupuncture. So if you are scared to get acupuncture because you have really bad anxiety and be left in the room by yourself, I suggest like bringing somebody, or having them leave like the door cracked, or giving you a bell or something in case you do have anxiety and you know you want to get out of there. You have a way of doing it and you feel more comfortable. So that was my acupuncture gone wrong story. It was very awful, but I'm really glad that it didn't like ruin me getting acupuncture from now on. So if you do ever go get acupuncture, make sure you go to somebody that's very experienced. Take it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video.